This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
On the show today, it's a bit of chat about kids in a nice way.
Yeah, there is, Nat.
So we talk about NAPLAN results. Apparently, 40% of grade 3 students in WA are not meeting the benchmarks. Grim. But don't worry, because we talked to a couple of teachers, a teacher and a principal about it, and get their take on it.
Yeah, we certainly do. Earlier on, though, to kick things off in the morning, we were talking about when you go away and there's a bit of a disaster back at home.
When you get the crisis call when you're on holidays. Yes, this happened to me. Plus, can we ban under 16s from YouTube? Is it possible?
Good
we
luck.
talked to some parents about it.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean. Oh, yeah. On Nova. 937. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's 6:06. Nathan and Sean. Morning, friends.
Hey, Nat, I just realised your voice is hanging in there. Good morning to everybody,
It is.
by the
It
way.
feels a little better today, but
Yeah.
I'm about to talk for 3 hours, so that, I don't know, we'll see how it's hanging in at the end of the
Did you go hard on the honey when you got home yesterday throughout the day?
I
Or you
went-
just didn't talk to people?
I didn't talk to people. I went hard on the sleep, and I also, because I've got this little niggling thing with my voice, but also I'm jet lagged, so it's a bad combination. So I was just lying around on the couch like a Victorian woman with consumption for most of the day. My friend that house sat for me while I was away, she'd left some stuff at my house, so she called in to get it, and then she looked at me and she said, "I'll take the dog for a walk." So she took the dog, so I didn't have to
that's
talk
so
to people
good.
down at the dog park either, just to preserve the voice a little bit better, because I'm saving it for you guys.
Oh, that is so good.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
I've got another story from my holidays. I was in Turkey, and I'd done my little group tour, and I'd gone back to Istanbul. So I'm on my own for a couple of days. And one of the things that another friend recommended, she said, go to this hammam, which is like a Turkish bathhouse. It's just an incredible experience. And she told me which one to go to. I pre-booked it. So you pre-booked it and paid for it so that I had the time slot. I was booked in for 10 a.m.
Are they like a spa that you would go to and have...
Yes, essentially. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is essentially that, except there's a lot of marble, a lot of opportunities to fall over, and you get beaten up by lovely, smiling Turkish women.
Oh,
and
that's great.
A lot of nudity. You're basically just laid out naked on a slab, wearing nothing but teeny tiny disposable paper knickers. And it's like...
And you pay for this?
You pay for
What
this.
does it cost, by the way?
They scrub you. Well, what I did, which was steam room, the scrubbing, which is like with a rough glove, like they scrub you all over. And then there's a foam massage where they're rinsing you down, and literally layers of skin come off. And then I had a mud bath thing, and then I had a foot massage and a little like a facial kind of mask. And they wash your hair for you as well.
How much?
$500.
Oh, well,
You know, I knew
you look
that
18.
I knew that I'd paid too much, because at the end of it, they gave me a goodie bag full of like all this stuff. I went, okay, I've spent too much money. And you go, how relaxing, how amazing. It was not that relaxing for this reason. About half an hour before, I was just sort of at the hotel getting ready to go, just thinking, I'll have to go in a minute. And I get a text message from my house sitter saying, there it is, saying, can you give me a call, please? And I'm like, she doesn't normally do that. That's a bit weird. So I ring her and I'm like, is everything okay? And she said, no, not really. Lewis, my dog, has run away from the dog walker and is on the loose somewhere in North Fremantle. So the dog walker, and no shade on him, he does a great job.
Yeah.
And Lewis knows him, loves him, he's taken him out many times, and he was walking him with 4 other dogs, which he does. That's not unusual either, and lots of dog walkers work this way. So bundle them into the car, take them down to an off-lead area, which happened to be the oval where your son plays football.
Gil Fraser.
That's the one, right on the river there. It's a beautiful spot. And for some reason, Lewis got spooked, and he's just bolted, and he's 12, right? And the poor dog walker said he's surprisingly quick for a 12-year-old as he bolted off. But because he's going deaf, he couldn't even call him. He's got these other 4 dogs, so he can't even chase him. So he was like, his powers were limited. So my poor house sitter is leaving work in the city to drive to North Fremantle to go looking for him, where you can't call him. So And so this is what I'm dealing with as I'm getting ready to go to the hammam.
There's a lot of big-time roads around there now. You must be panicking.
And previously, this sort of thing has happened occasionally where he has tried to bolt home, and which would have meant, if that was the case, he would have been bolting across Stirling Bridge, which... Not ideal. His truck's bearing down. He has no road sense, so we'll literally just run across a road without even thinking about it. And so I'm like, oh, God. So I get on Facebook, a Freo Massive on Facebook, and our local dog park. Lewis is missing. If anybody sees him, call this number. But then I've got to go to the hammam. So I'm checking into the hammam, and I get the call to say he's been found. A lady found him. He'd managed to get he was in the river behind the fence where the construction zone where they're doing the new bridge works on that old traffic bridge. And this lady found him and called the ranger, and the ranger, so he's in custody by this stage. And then they read him his rights. So my friend is like, you have to, they won't release him to me because her number wasn't on the microchip.
Oh, okay. Well, that was good policy.
Great policy,
not really.
Except they made it super difficult for me to authorise. So I'm like, She said they want a photo of you and the dog. I'm like, okay. So I'm like literally in the change room putting my paper knickers on.
What's the time difference?
5 hours. And so I'm like trying to find a photo. I've got a lot of photos of my dog, not many with me with the dog.
Yeah.
And so eventually I found one, I send it through, and then I get called in to be beaten up by the little Turkish women. And so then 2 hours later, because it was a 2-hour experience, I'd paid for the deluxe. And I come out and there's all these messages saying that wasn't enough. They need you to email him. If it doesn't happen in the next half hour, he'll have to stay overnight at the pound. And it's like the ranger already had to stay behind longer waiting for it. He did it I'm really grateful that he did that. And so, and Lewis was in the pen with a dog that had been seized from a house that was being raided by the drug squad, this big massive dog that was barking really loudly and was really aggressive, and he's like cowering in the corner like, I don't belong here.
Well, that dog was on its face.
I'm just
having a good old time
to have a nice relaxing hammam experience. My dog's rampant running through North Fremantle. It's just when you get that call, even though by the time I went into the hammam I did know that he was safe, that he wasn't running across the road or whatever. It's still the tension that's like, it was so difficult. And you're on the other side of the world. There's nothing really that you can do.
When you're away.
Oh, my God. Getting a crisis call when you're away that was worse than the time my cat had the gaping butthole. I've told that story before. That was just, she just needed to go to the vet. It wasn't an emergency.
I've only just started sleeping normally again after hearing that story.
We want to know, have you gotten a crisis call while you've been away? And what was that? Is it that the roof's blown off? Is it that, because I've got dodgy plumbing because I've got old, not me personally, my house, because I've got old pipes, and I thought maybe that might have been the reason, but no, it was my dog was on the loose.
When we were over in Bali earlier on in the year, I was over there for a wedding, but one of our friends from school was there as well.
Yes.
He kept getting a phone call because he had a property in Aussie Park as an old place, and his dad was staying there with some other people.
Yeah.
And the toilet's gone.
Oh.
And the whole sewage must have been a blockage or something along those lines. And it was on a Friday afternoon when he got this call. So he's trying valiantly to ring 1,000 different people. No one could come over.
No, of course.
They had to dig a big hole, down the like a trench down the back, because it's a big block with an old house. And then he was constantly getting the calls from his dad to say, hey,
what am I doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, exactly.
And the only suggestion was you need to go to Macca's and use the toilet for the next 48 hours because we're not back. And I can't get anyone there.
That's... Well, thank God for 24-hour Maccas, is all we can say. Sarah's in Harrisdale. Morning, Sarah.
Good morning, guys. How you going?
All right, mate. Now talk to us about those crisis calls you get while you're away.
So it was actually me making the crisis call to my parents when I was about 20. They decided to go up to Montebello with my two brothers on a fishing trip in winter.
Unreal.
That's where everyone goes, in winter up north. And my boyfriend and I at the time were like, not interested. We'll stay back and do the house sitting. And we lived on a hobby farm, so looked after all the animals. And I loved their wood fire, so I always used to stoke it.
Yeah.
And then as the night went on, the room got hazier and hazier. And then suddenly I said to my boyfriend, what's going on in this room? We went out, So I came back in and realised it was full of smoke.
Yes.
And long story short, the chimney had heated the roof and caused smouldering in the roof. So I called my dad and it was very bad service. He ended up running up a hill and from what he heard, he was just like, call the fire brigade.
Yes, exactly. You're waiting for your dad to run up a hill. It's like, no, the fire brigade is who you need.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So
you nearly
my
burnt the
boyfriend
house down.
Literally nearly burnt the house down. My boyfriend just chucked a heap of water into the roof space and the smouldering seemed to stop. But the damage was done and they had to have the entire lounge room roof replaced when they got back. So it was quite an expensive trip for them.
But you were nice and warm at the time, Sarah.
Yeah, that's right. Cozy.
It's winter.
Super cozy.
Oh,
amazing.
Thank
that's
you,
a crisis
Sarah.
Call. Yeah, that is a crisis call. But sometimes the crisis call should be to emergency services. Paul's in Dawesville. Morning, Paul.
Good morning, guys. How are we?
Good, Paul.
Good, buddy. Talk to us about that crisis call you got while you're on holidays.
So I'm in Bali. I'm with my wife. We're on our wedding anniversary. I've got my kids there. They both buggered off to do whatever the hell kids want to do. I don't care. We're at a massage place. We're laying side by side, doing the whole lovey-dovey rubbish.
Yes.
And my phone is underneath me in the little hole that you put your face through, right? That washes your beard. Not a problem. It starts ringing. It's my sister. And I'm like, why is my sister ringing me? She's just coming over to feed my pets while we're away. Not a problem. So I'll ignore it. Yeah. Rings the second time, ignore it. By the third time, I thought, probably should answer this.
Yes.
Grabbed it. And she's like, I've got a bit of a problem. I said, what's that? She goes, well, your snakes are out.
Oh, my God.
Paul, you've got snakes.
Paul.
Yeah. I've got pythons. I've got 2 carpet pythons, and they're both just on the 6-foot side.
Oh.
So,
hard pass. I'm saying no to that house sitting opportunity.
Yeah. And what happens then?
So my sister is also deathly afraid of snakes, and it took me a lot of convincing to get her to come and actually feed my animals while we were away. And it was a lot of, nope. She ended up standing by the front door while she was keeping an eye on where they could possibly be, because at this point we didn't know where they were in the house.
How did they get out? What was the... How did they...
From what I can best tell, when I left and when I fed them, I didn't lock the enclosure properly, and they learned that if they pushed their body against the door, like the sliding glass, and sort of fell sideways, they could slide the glass open. For animals are incredibly intelligent.
Wow.
And so they did the whole Harry Houdini and busted out. I had to get a friend of mine to come down from Yokine to come back down to the house. To try and track my snakes down.
Where were they? Where were they hiding?
I had one in the kitchen that was underneath the fridge, like gone behind the fridge for the warmth, and the second one was just in the in a box underneath the enclosure itself, like it just
hadn't gone far.
So, hadn't gone far, but
the snakes are on the loose.
Oh my God! It's not a phone call you want.
Oh, it's not. Well, it's also not a situation you want to be confronting if you're not a snake person. Oh, thank you, Paul. How extraordinary. Michelle's in Netherlands. Hello.
Hi, how you going, guys?
Great, Michelle. Okay, what was the crisis call you got while you were on holidays?
Well, I was having a lovely time in Bali, and my son was back home, and I said, how did your football game go? And he goes, I didn't feel too good after the game, and, I got a few knocks and got a bit crunched. So he said, I drove myself to the hospital and parked my car in emergency parking, walked in, and they checked me out and they said, you've got concussion and you've also fractured your spine.
Oh!
And he was like, okay. And no wonder I don't feel too good. So with that, they kept him in for 24 hours. I ummed and ahed whether to fly home or not.
Of course. I love it that you ummed and ahed. Yeah.
He goes, no, Mum, I'm fine. I feel a bit groggy. And he rang a mate to come get his car and drive him home. And I had a couple of nice extra days, another 2 days in Bali. And then I came home to this poor-looking, pale kid sitting on the couch, not being able to move. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, you probably should have come home. Worst mother ever. But you had a great time. So
I did have a great time. He didn't have such a great time, but he was happy to see me, and I was happy to see him.
Oh, I bet.
Oh,
yeah.
He didn't want to alarm. He didn't want to alarm you.
Yeah, and also you didn't want to come home. So
no, exactly. And you know what? He is like that. He's like, oh, Mum, you just have a good time. I'll be fine. I'm not dying just yet.
Yeah, just yet. Maybe another 72 hours.
I know, that's
Things
right. I could hang in there, hanging by a thread. Thanks, Michelle.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
The Happy Camel Club. Nathan, Nat and Sean are in the club. The Camel Club. Join in-store or online and get access to exclusive savings. Drink responsibly.
All right, welcome to the club, the Happy Camel Club, that is. It's in session thanks to Thirsty Camel and the brand new Camel Club. Oh, hi, Camel.
Morning, Camel. The Camel's got a $1,000 travel voucher. You just got to make him laugh this morning.
That's right. It's whoever makes him laugh the most.
Oh, he loves a gag.
Either with a story, a joke, I don't know, maybe you can do a great impression. We don't care. It's just up to the Camel to decide. First, cab off the rank, Marie from Perth. Good morning, Marie.
Hello, how are you?
Morning,
Great,
Marie.
Marie, okay. Go your hardest. Make the Camel laugh.
So I'm a very thoughtful present giver, and I was living Eastern States at the time in Sydney, and I booked for my dad a little sailing kind of trip. They were coming over for Christmas, and my brother as well, who's very metrosexual. And for Mum, I booked a day spa, and this was recommended by a friend of mine. My brother said, I don't want to go on the sailing boat. I want to go get the massages and facials, etc. My dad kind of went, oh, fine, all right. So the four of us went there. I found out there was a boys and girls division, and it's supposed to be in Darlinghurst.
Yeah.
And as we're nearing, it's more like King's Cross, and I'm thinking, okay, that sounds all right, whatever. So we get to the place, bit of a red light. We're walking up, there's this carpets and hanging curtains and these white tiles, and the boys go off onto their division and the girls go off to theirs. And Mum and I are standing at the front, and this lady says, okay, and I've booked massages, magnesium pool, everything, time to drop your clothes.
Oh.
And I looked at Mum and went, and the lady...
You went on a family nudie day.
So I took my entire family to a nudist day spa with walking back massages. So when you walk in, the spas and everyone's completely nude. So there was a lady doing yoga nude in one of the magnesium pools.
Yoga does not need to be nude.
So apparently my dad and brother got in there, and Dad walks in and my brother's like, I'm not taking my clothes off. And Dad was so furious about not going on to the sailing boat that he said, get your kid off, mate, we're going.
Yeah, exactly. We can nude out.
The stories afterwards, I think they lasted 15 minutes. Mum and I lasted about half an hour, and then we ran out.
A family nudist adventure. Well, what does the Camel think of that?
Not bad.
Yeah.
A solid 1 hump rating.
All right, okay. All right, didn't hate it. Thank you, Marie. You hang there. We'll go to Sarah in Two Rocks. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
Great,
Sarah.
Okay, make the Camel laugh.
Okay, I've got a joke.
All right.
Why did the orange go out with the prune?
Why did the orange go out with the prune? I don't know. Tell us.
Because he couldn't find a date.
Sure.
Nat.
You're a father. That's why
I
you
know,
laughed
that's
at
why I'm
that.
laughing.
Is the Camel a dad, though? That's the question. Did the Camel find that funny?
Oh, what?
That story really dried me out.
Oh,
Dried like a date.
yeah, that was
Hey, Sarah, I'm going to write that down and use it myself.
yeah. All right. I don't like your chances, Sarah, because the Camel hated it. But Sean did like it.
I
So
liked
who
it.
knows? I don't know if he gets a vote. You hang there. And we'll finish off with Alicia in Armidale. Hi, Alicia.
Good morning.
Okay,
Hi, Alicia.
Try and make the Camel laugh, please.
Okay, so I work in a high school. I'm always carrying lollies because I just want to rewards, bribery for high schoolers. I was out on lunch duty and I grabbed it in my pocket, I pulled out a Mentos and I tried to bite it as I'm walking around. Kids are looking at me really weird. I'm thinking, okay, whatever. Keep trying to bite into this packet. It's not opening. When I finally look down, I realize it's a tampon.
All right. What did the Camel think of that? Oh, you tickled his hump, Alicia. Well, guess what? That, I don't know, mortification has scored you a $1,000 travel voucher.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much.
Hey, that was worth it.
Yes, you're a winner. Alicia, congratulations. Thanks to Thirsty Camel of the brand new Camel Club. You've scored a $1,000 travel voucher. Enjoy.
The Camel loved it.
The Camel did love it. He loves a good tampon
I like
gag.
them all.
Yeah, yes. You're going to use that date joke, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Guaranteed. Happy Camel Club will be back again next Wednesday, everybody.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Nat, if you've seen the news this morning, you'll see that on the front page of the West, they're talking about NAPLAN results.
Yes.
WA versus the rest of Australia.
And it's not great?
No, it's not great. And in particular, they're focusing on year 3. So they're saying year 3s in WA, their reading and numeracy is 40% below what the average would be.
Yes, so what the standard should be.
Standard should be.
Yeah, so that's not great.
40% of students below the benchmark for their age, which is huge, right? We know teachers do it. I love all the teachers out there. My sister-in-law is one of them. Sure. And they put in a lot of effort, right? The NAPLAN situation, I've lived through it for a long time, and I know parents are going through it with their kids in the early ages. Yes. When the kids are young and they first do the NAPLAN, they think it's all fun, right? So they're all like, oh, NAPLAN today and a little test, and they don't really care. When they get a couple of years older and late primary school and definitely early high school, everyone hates it.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the schools hate it as well.
Because there's pressure on... Yeah, of course they do, because they're being judged on those results, right? Yep. So if the kids have a bad day or whatever, or there's other stresses or, for whatever reason, that reflects on them poorly.
It does.
And on the individual teachers as well, when they look at them and go, your class isn't doing well compared to everybody else in the state. That's a lot of pressure, and the kids feel that, so that teachers start to have to prepare them for NAPLAN, at the expense of doing other more fun stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you defend yourself if you've got a principal and they're coming out and you go, hey, this is below average. You've got to lift your game. Well,
it's like you might have a dud year.
You might. Yeah, exactly. 100%.
I say that, but kids learn at different rates. So, and at 8, in year 3, some kids have just turned 8, and some kids are almost 9. At that age, that's a big gap.
Huge gap.
And so to go, because I know Sunny, she's a June birthday, so she would have been the youngest in her year.
Always.
And then it sometimes she's just not as far ahead, not because there's anything wrong with her, but because her brain's just developing at a different rate, or is 11 and a half months behind the kids in her class, other kids in her class.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation. We want to ask if there's any year 3 teachers out there, what they think of this result. If you're in that
Do you feel this NAPLAN pain as a year 3 teacher? Because when these results come out and they go, WA students 40% aren't hitting the mark, you're like, oh, great.
Yeah, but if you're a school principal and you treat it a different way, I don't know, maybe you do come hard down on your teachers to say, hey, no, we need a lift. Or, no, you just go, okay, well, it is what it is. And it's a difficult situation.
What happens? All right, let's talk to one. Sam, hello. Hi, Sam.
Hi, guys. How you going?
Good, great, Sam. Now, as a teacher, what does NAPLAN mean for you?
Chaos and stress for one test on one day. I actually feel like the year 3 teachers are in the firing line, but it's really not them. There's so much that goes on behind it. And also, NAPLAN is sat in May. So those kids really only have sort of February, March in year 3. So it's everything that kind of happens before year 3. It's not year 3. And you guys were saying earlier about the kids who are the younger end of the year, and it's just there's so many factors, and I just feel like we put so much pressure on these kids and these results, and it's for what? It's one test on one day. If they're not feeling well, if they didn't sleep well, if there's something else happening in their world, it's a lot for nothing, really.
I totally agree with you, and that's how I've always viewed it. On the other side of the ledger, how do they make sure that the standards are high?
Yes.
Or as high as possible?
We spend a lot of time as a school in meetings talking about the data from the last NAPLAN test and how we can work on it and improve it. But
sounds like an awful meeting.
Yeah. It's not even one, it's multiple.
Yeah. Does your principal really drill down and say we need to lift, we're not meeting the right targets and that kind of thing?
Yes. Oh. Yes, because it all reflects on the school.
Yes.
And schools, parents can look at the school's data and decide whether they want to send their kids there.
Yeah.
And so there's just so many factors on this one little test, which I don't think is a great summary of that child and where they're at.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's so tough.
I know, it's just a moment in time, really. And you're right. And we're now, 2 months down the line and we get the results. kids could have improved in those 2 months. Like they could have, because they're 2 months older. You know, especially at that age. You know, when it's a bit older, I think that levels out a little bit. But
yeah, the kids are stuffed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for your insight, Sam. All the best. Let's catch up with the principal now. We've got Mel. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Mel.
Mel, is NAPLAN the N-word for you?
We're not afraid of it at our school. I work in a school in the very north of WA. I'm actually in Perth for a course.
Okay.
Not to do with NAPLAN, thankfully. But at our school, we have more than just NAPLAN data, like a lot of schools do across Australia and especially in WA. We also still have children that are massively impacted by COVID. 2 years of COVID, we're testing on children that have had huge gaps in their learning, impacted in their crucial years in kinder, pre-primary, year one. They missed out on a lot of that sort of stuff. So in our school, we focus on developing the kids and look at, how much are they growing from last year's group of students to this year's. But most importantly, we look at how much the child themselves has grown, and we talk to the parents about that. Parents need to be less afraid of NAPLAN. Kids need to be less afraid.
Okay.
And often Year threes, it's the first time they've done that kind of test in a lot of situations. So it's on an iPad. iPads are for playing for a lot of kids, so they don't understand the seriousness. And when it comes to my teachers, the pressure's not there. So we make it just a normal day. We don't talk to our kids about NAPLAN. It's just, today we're going to do this activity on an iPad. So the kids don't get freaked out.
So you're not prepping them? There's no sort of NAPLAN prep per se?
So the only prep we do is we make sure that they experience the types of writing that they might be needing to do for the NAPLAN. But it's not, this is what you need to do in NAPLAN.
Yeah, right.
We just do our normal stuff because we don't want kids to be afraid of it either.
Yeah.
We want them to be able to feel comfortable, because when they feel comfortable, then they will actually do their best. And it's still a long way to go to get some decent data from when they changed the way that they are looking at the bands anyway. We're 3 years into the new system.
Yeah,
That's
so it's
not
early
enough
days.
information to be able to say. And we're still reeling from the impact of COVID on teachers, on students, on families.
Yeah.
Nice work, Mel.
Maybe in 5 years' time.
Yeah. You're clearly doing a great job, Mel. Everyone wants to send their kids to your school now, but it's a fair way away.
A few thousand k's away, unfortunately. So.
Quite the drop-off. Love your work, Mel. Thank you so much for calling us this morning.
Bye.
Cheers.
Now, I always wonder about the impact of social media and on the newest generation coming through with reading and writing in particular. Because if you're on computers instead of handwriting and doing all that stuff, which is easy to take in, once you're writing it down, it goes to memory a lot quicker. And the distractions where people would sit down and read a book.
That's right.
And you would have been one of them in the country.
Oh, yeah. I read books all the time because I was an hour each way on the bus as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But now you're just on your phone.
Yeah, for sure.
And
for sure.
Flicking through.
And next thing you know, you're just saying thermometer.
Exactly. Drop the mic.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast. Ready, set, go!
Nathan, Nat and Sean are all in for a good cause. This week, Domino's is donating part proceeds to Perth's Children's Hospital. Order in store, online or via the app.
Right, here we go, up for grabs. We've got $1,000 cash. If you can name 5 things in the given category in just 5 seconds, it's all thanks to our friends at Domino's.
And Courtney, you feeling sharp this morning?
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous already.
Courtney, don't be nervous. We need to take a deep breath because 5 seconds goes past pretty quick, okay?
Yeah, I've just pulled over, so we're good to go.
Okay. All right, Courtney.
Well, we're right behind you here, Courts.
Here's what will happen. We'll give you the category. And then we'll say go, and your 5 seconds will start at that point, okay?
Okay.
Very important that your 5 answers fit the category, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Courtney, your category, please give us 5 places you'd visit if you were going on holidays in Western Australia. Go.
Kalgoorlie, Karratha, Coral Bay, Exmouth, Kalbarri.
I don't know. Are we going to go to Karratha on holiday? Is the question.
I've been to Karratha on holiday.
On holiday. You went there on holiday.
Amy.
Yeah, have you got family up there?
If you've got family up there.
There's actually pretty good fishing up. Not
So
pretty good.
Karratha,
There's outstanding fishing up
Kalgoorlie
there.
was the other one that's questionable.
Well, you're going to go out. You're going to go mining.
On your fun family holiday.
I've
Mate,
been
you
to
started-
all of these places.
Yes. All right. So you went to Kalgoorlie on a fun family holiday?
Well, I'm from Queensland, so we did a long trip all up north and down south. So, yeah.
All right, Amy. Amy's the
Amy,
ultimate
come on,
judge.
come
Amy,
on.
You come on, Mike, Amy, and tell Courtney whether she's a winner or not.
You're a bit in between about this, aren't you?
Oh, my husband just got back from Karratha.
Yeah.
For work, though. He went for work, not for
right?
holiday.
He wasn't impressed.
Oh.
Yeah, but they got a chicken treat there. I think they got a Macca's. Where's our friend from Karratha who rings us?
Oh, look.
What are you doing, Amy?
I'm in a good mood today. I'm up and about. Let's give it to her.
Oh, Courtney! You just gave Courtney $1,000 cash.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Courtney, that earthquake really shook you up, Amy.
I know. Is this what it takes to get her in a good mood, too?
Oh, Courtney, you've scored $1,000 from Domino's, and you owe Amy at least $50. Okay?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, well done. We appreciate your commitment too, because you pulled over and you're focused. That's the key.
Thank you.
All right, another round and more categories tomorrow for Ready, Set, Go. We will be playing again tomorrow morning.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We're talking about the fact that the government's come out today and said that YouTube is going to be included in that social media ban for under 16s.
Yeah, so this has been on, not YouTube, but it's been on the cards for about 18 months now when it
And
went
our
through
mate
Parliament.
Whipper has been a big sort of campaigner for this. Yeah, for sure. And you can see the point. But with, Snapchat and Instagram and all those sorts of things, TikTok, I understand that that's coming from a good place and trying to protect kids.
Yep.
But YouTube, there's so much stuff on YouTube that is geared towards children.
I know. Well, I can't teach my kids to do anything handy.
No, that's right. So
But if
they
we
have to go and download a video from YouTube and how to do it. As do we all. That's how we figure out how to do things now. It's so instructional. I mean, not everything is instructional. It's not all educational. I get that. But surely kids are just going to go on their parents' YouTube account.
Well, it was brought up in our house on Monday night. I remember one of the kids said, "Hey, the band's coming to Sunny, my daughter."
Yeah, so she's not 16 yet, right?
Yeah.
So she would be impacted by this.
Yeah, so she said, "I've already changed my settings." Was her answer to that. I'm throwing her under the bus here.
According to YouTube, Sunny is a 24-year-old woman.
That's right. So I don't know how First of all, ages ago, I didn't know how they were going to police this, but now you bring in YouTube, which can be super educational.
Yeah, that's right.
And think about the stuff that we would watch. I mean, I watch all kinds of stuff, but a lot of it's to do with what I'm going to cook for dinner.
Oh, okay. I wonder what you were going to say there. Yes.
No, that's RedTube, Nat, not YouTube.
But also, show me a parent who hasn't sat their kid down in front of the iPad with an episode of Bluey from YouTube on there. You know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that is, and I'm not saying that, that there's no... I'm not dissing parents at all. I think that, you work incredibly hard, and every now and then you just need to be able to focus on a task. And the way to do that is to give your 4-year-old the iPad for 20 minutes. Good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, no shade at all. So how do you reconcile that with telling your 13-year-old that they're not allowed to go on YouTube? Please, they've been on YouTube their whole life.
Yeah. I wonder why the YouTube's just come into the conversation. It wasn't there previously.
I think it's because, you can comment on things and there are, I guess you can access material that perhaps isn't geared towards under 16s.
Okay.
And the way that the algorithm works to offering up the next, just playing the next video. So you might search up something that's very appropriate, but the rabbit hole could lead you to something that's not appropriate, I guess, is part of the problem.
Yep.
But most kids that I've met aren't accessing YouTube on their own account.
No, they're not.
They're not, are they?
No, they're not. Not in our household either.
All right, we want to know, talk to us about YouTube. Do you think that your kids should be banned from YouTube? Or have you had a conversation with them? Have you thought about how you might even do this if this was a thing? Or are you just throwing your hands up and saying, no, there's no way I can stop them watching YouTube at this point?
Yeah.
It's just part of their life. It's as natural to them as watching TV was to us.
Candace, what do you think about the YouTube ban?
Morning, guys.
Hi, Candace.
I have 2 boys, 4 and 9, and I could not welcome this any sooner. My 4-year-old was really into Spider-Man, like for the last 2 or 3 years, like most little boys.
Cool.
And even on a kid's platform and a kid's setting on YouTube, we still found him, like, you know, the kind of scroll, click, watch, forward, scroll, click. And it ended up landing down a vortex of and an algorithm of Spider-Man themed GTA, and which is like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, man. Some stuff that's hectic.
And it was Spider-Man being hit, was beating people up, being eaten by sharks, and like blood in the water, and like violence. And I was like, okay, when I heard about this a couple of weeks ago, I actually sat down with my kids and said, we're actually going to start this now for my 4-year-old. So we have access to ABC Kids. We already had things like Disney Plus, Netflix, and so on. The inexpensive ones, so I'm not talking really expensive subscriptions, but so now my youngest only watches Bluey on ABC Kids.
Yep.
There is a ton of stuff on Netflix under the kids' platforms that are now safe for him to watch, and I don't have to ask my 9-year-old to constantly be watching what he's watching if we're in the car long distance or unsupervised if I'm cleaning or whatever. He has access to content that I'm not worried about. And my 9-year-old, he watches things like Roblox and, you know, Minecraft and stuff, which is like those ones where they record themselves playing live. And they're somewhat harmless, but they still like swear and they bleep it out and things like that. And he knows that swearing isn't appropriate, but for some kids, like, they bring that into the playground. And so we've already kind of started that ban in our house, and I seriously think it's just like the best thing. I'm all for the educational stuff, and you know, maybe that's a bit of a tricky topic, but in terms of the algorithm, I've taught my kids that it is not wired to help you find things that help you. They are wired to show you things that are not appropriate, and you need to realise that the internet can be a very dangerous place, but also a very great place, and teaching them the right things. But I think I'm so all for it.
Okay.
Yeah. It sounds like you're on the ball about this too. You're making a solid start early, which is great.
It's good with the younger kids because you've already set the standard. And the government doing this sets the standard going forward. It's the ones that have been around all these platforms for a while.
And especially like in your case, so Sunny's the only one of your kids left in that situation. And it's like she's got 3 older brothers who all had unfettered access. And it's like, that's 100%. Not fair. That's not fair. It's much harder to enforce. Thank you, Candace. Let's go to Daniel. Hello.
Good morning. How you going?
Good, great, Dan. Okay, talk to us. What's your take on it?
Look, each to their own. I've got a 9-year-old boy with autism who loves YouTube, looks up his Minecraft, Top of Gould. He uses my account now. I get notifications on my phone all day, every day. It drives you absolutely crazy what he actually looks up. But I find it a good way to see what he's actually viewing. And I certainly won't be stopping watching YouTube when the ban comes in. He'll still use my account, and I mean, what he's learned from it, for starters, some of the stuff he comes out with absolutely floors us. So,
okay.
Yeah, so what sort of stuff? Like, does he watch, like, documentary stuff?
He loves history.
Okay.
He's right into history and right into other countries, like country flags. Or he can just reel off whatever country flag it is, and I wouldn't have a clue. And, you know, it's just stuff that I've never seen him learn it at school, but he comes out with it. Now he places coming from YouTube.
Okay.
Every morning when I wake up, my phone is full of stuff from YouTube, but that's just part and parcel of it.
So I guess, you know, part of that is you do know what he's watching. So because you're getting those alerts, that is, you're at least monitoring the stuff that he's got access to.
That's correct. Well, I had one where he did make a comment on someone's post on YouTube, and it notified my phone straight away. I knew straight away what was said. And I could go straight in, look it up, and and it was all just complete harmless, but I got notified straight away.
Yeah, so that's a safety net, isn't it?
That's really good.
If he had his own account, I wouldn't have that control, but because he's under my account, I've got that control.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. I like the way you think,
Thanks,
Dan.
Daniel.
Thank you. Last word, Cara from Balcatta. Good morning.
Good morning. How are we?
All right, Cara, what's your take on it?
I'm so against it. We've got 2 little girls, a 6 and 8-year-old, and the only time they're allowed to watch their iPad is on a Sunday morning.
Yes.
And that's our sleep-in day. That's the day Mum and Dad get to have a sleep-in.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it buys you some time. Yeah.
Yeah, and they watch YouTube Kids, they watch YouTube Shorts, and they don't watch anything out there that's crazy. They watch little reality TV shows. It's their reality TV show. So they watch kids playing games and unboxing toys and going on these little adventures. And my 8-year-old watches a family from Perth, actually, who she's a huge fan of.
Yes.
And they do little adventures around Perth, and they have challenges, and they do makeovers of bedrooms and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
It's all pretty innocent.
And it is really innocent, and it's also our time.
Yes.
It's our time that we get to have a sleep-in.
I know.
Yeah, but it's only once a week.
Once a week,
which is brilliant parenting.
Putting
I
a
don't know
limit
how
on
you do
that.
Cara.
Yeah, that's well done.
Because all the
Definitely.
parents out there want to be like you and earlier on, Candace in that way.
Yes.
Just putting a line through it all.
That's right. But
none of us have got the follow through.
Cara, as Candace was saying, even on the YouTube Kids platform, once the algorithm started feeding stuff, when you went down that rabbit hole, sometimes the stuff wasn't as appropriate as you would like. Have you encountered anything that hasn't been above board?
Maybe once or twice early doors when we first started watching YouTube Kids. And my husband and I were really, really onto it and made sure that we were in control as such. I watched what they were watching. And we really haven't come across anything that the girls have watched lately.
Yeah.
It is just reality kids. It's their reality TV.
Just watching other kids do things,
TV. Yeah, which is I find so weird. I mean,
our producer Amy's kids love that too. They love it. They're just completely bought in. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to take that away from.
Yeah.
They can't. They watch Netflix. They watch Disney.
Yeah.
They've got all of the things. But there's only so much of that that they want to watch.
And also, you need to sleep in. So I hear you, Cara.
One day.
Thanks, Cara. Thanks for having your say.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Tomorrow on the show, what do we got, Sean?
Oh, Nat, we got Jordan Clark coming in from the Dockers. The Gov, we haven't seen the Gov for a few weeks. Jeremy McGovern. Poe as well.
That's right, Poe, because she is nominated for a Logie.
I like Poe. Always
She
have.
is a delight, Poe. Just one of the genuine people. Plus, heaps more money to be won. What do you... Oh, Toasty Thursday.
Oh, my God.
Amy's just
Toasty
miming
Thursday.
eating a toasty in front of me.
Look like the
tomorrow's
mouse
the
attacking some cheese.
first week of Toasty Thursday, where if you want to nominate your amazing toasty recipe and then we eat it, there's $5,000 up for grabs here. $5,000.
Oh,
$5,000.
That's
If yours is
unreal.
the best. We're going to be taste testing toasties every Thursday, which we are pretty happy about as well. Ready, Set, Dough is back again. Another $1,000 up for grabs there.
Busy.
Busy.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.